Okay, we'll start with. Let me give the microphone to Ernestine, who has some
Okay.
experience, who has some experiences to share, and maybe some questions too. Ernestine, over.
Okay. Hi. Hi, Duane, and everybody. Okay, so I will start with the dream experience.
Okay.
Okay. So it was the dream experience started. I was like in the cinema, like in the movie, like in the big screen. So I saw myself in the big screen, standing next to the real guy. So yeah, at first I didn't recognize that was me. I thought like that person looked familiar. So like this, it was like the picture was passing in that screen. Like it came back the second time. Then I look at the picture and I say, okay, that is me. That is really me standing next to the real guy. But there was something different. I didn't know at that time what was different because I looked different. So the picture came again the third time. Then I noticed, yeah, I'm different because I was glowing. Like I was glowing, like shining, glowing like the real guy. So as I recognize the picture that is me, and then it becomes brighter and brighter and glowing. So that is the end of the dream. So I wanted to know what is the meaning of the dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was almost like picture changing from the big screen. That is all like that I was seeing. Yes.
Yeah, the movie screen and being in the movies there again, you're seeing the big picture, you might say, and that is that because you've decided to step up and take this on, the boys have accepted you. Actually, they've chosen you to see if you would step up, and you have. And so, by that very fact, you stand real with them. And that's the example. It's the demonstration, is what you're seeing, and you're seeing it objectively from your personal self, your real self, and your personal self, so that you can recognize this. That's why they showed you the picture several times, because at first, you don't notice. You see, at first we don't notice a lot of things, but then it takes a few times and all of a sudden we get it. See, it's that recognition that's very important. Yes, we can have the experience, but we want to recognize it. And it's very simple. You're standing with the real guides as long as you decide to. That's your decision, okay? And so this is also where we don't take anything for granted. You must learn to recognize how to maintain that position too. That's up to you. So you will go back and forth like many people because you have the personal self, but eventually you'll totally figure it out. So they are giving you what is possible, the end result for you, but you must always decide to stand real with them. That is up to you. So, um, many people have had experiences with the real guides, and what they do is then they usually many times go completely back to their personal life. And they kind of forget about it, and then they talk maybe years later saying, oh, I had this experience at one time, and I had this, and I know that, or whatever. But many times they don't follow through. So what is taking place now with what I'm doing, what the world is happening here in the galaxies, in creation, etc., this is what is taking place now. And this becomes more than just the experience. So they're giving you a heads up to the experience, and you decide where you're going to go from there. But anyhow, yes, that is you. And it is like a movie, okay? But you are always the decider. You decide if you're going to stand real there and recognize even more and more and more. Okay, so yes, thank you for sharing.
Okay. Thank you for explaining. Yeah. Okay. I have one more question. Okay. I have a dream experience with Rebisar And in that dream, at the end of the dream, he told me I should not tell this to anybody. So I wanted to know what is the meaning of that when the real guy is telling you not to tell to anybody about the dream experience. Yeah, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Well, it's very simple. Just don't tell anyone. So it's just for you, and that's what it is. Because many times, as an example, if you tell certain things, you'll have to deal with it. Many times, other people won't understand, and it can be bringing situations into your life. Many times, it's a protection for you, just for you to know. It can be something very. It can be something very simple, like, okay, so you have the dream experiences with the Rebisar and the real guides. Okay, so you get up. Let's say, as an example, let's say you're married. You tell your husband. It's like, oh wow, I had these experiences because I've been studying this and blah blah blah. Well, maybe your husband is religious, and all of a sudden, he's saying, well, that's all of the devil, etc. And I don't want to hear this stuff, or we're going to get a divorce. You see, so it can be something like that. It just depends. So, yeah.
Okay, I understand. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
asking. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's finished. I don't have any question for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Charles, you have anything to say?
Yeah, Ernestine, I have much. I have not even finished translation of all the experiences that have been sent from Congo, and Mariam and other new friends who contacted me online, and I told them the work was so much I could not finish. Okay, Duane, I'm going to narrate some real site realizations of a new friend whose name is Alison. First, his realizations upon becoming new. She realized that she has to be at the forefront of the quest for real freedom. As it isn't by proxy, it will be attained. She also realized that extraterrestrials are beings of light, just like her, and their existence is just as important as hers. She says she doesn't believe in demons or the notion of Satan, and that unawakened souls are a danger to those who have awakened, and that on earth these unawakened individuals are sent to prison for their nefarious acts, and on the astral they are confined to the dark areas until they yearn for the light and are approached by the real guides. So I don't know whether Duane can comment on this, her realizations.
Yes, that's the basic idea. So it's fun. And yes, we're all having experience in creation. We make choices. It's that simple. Good, bad, or indifferent, whoever we are or whatever body type we take on, it is so. And the new presentation is for everybody. It's for the aliens. It's for the extraterrestrials. It's for the reptilians. It's for everybody. We give them the opportunity. But if they want to be arrogant and fight about it and defy it or whatever they do, that's their choice too. So they will keep themselves in cause and effect creation as long as they decide. So all we create is the opportunity. And we see that too. And so when I'm writing or saying something, it's not a criticism or a put down. Again, I don't use the ideas of good and bad. Sometimes I call them the bad brats or this or that. Those are just phrases and ideas. But realistically, giving them the opportunity to, and at the same time, letting others know what's going on. So in other words, we're simply exposing, things that hold a person back from waking up. That's all. It's just exposure. And I'm going to throw this in here too, and that is that, the echists out there, and if they'll listen, they keep thinking that, oh, gee, why do you say these things about Harry and Joan? Well, they don't even know Joan, most of them. They don't know who Joan is. It's so funny. She owns a corporation. Why do you say these funny things? Why do you criticize them? Why do you hate Harold and all these things? Well, it's none of those things. The natural environment that supports all of us is being very rapidly destroyed, which I've said many times before. And people like Harold and Joan, the politicians, the religious people, etc., they're all agreeing that it is being destroyed. And so what I am simply doing, and others here, is we're simply exposing the fact of what they're doing. We're not criticizing them. We're just saying, hey, this is what they're doing. You can make better choices. So again, there's your question, young man. She's waking up to that. And yes, everybody is that. But at the same time, okay, so you may not want to let one of the reptilians into your house because you may not trust them, because they'll maybe wreak havoc. So again, doesn't mean you can trust them, because they're going to do whatever they want. And they control the marketing ploy on this planet and many others, and they're going to try and keep people subdued. So yes, they do have the potential to wake up, but at the same time, they're very tricky, and we all have to deal with them while we're here, just like the chemtrails in the sky. So yes, what you're sharing is right on. Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, Duane, thank you. I'll continue with Elise's experience, and talking about the real guides. She says after doing the new song today, she met Rebisar and Paul, and he told them that Harold is his friend, with whom he has had many experiences. Rebisar told him that Harold decided to be heady and recalcitrant with his own plan to let souls under his care have a very long time to awaken, even if it took them many lifetimes on the path of egg. However, the plan of the real guides for all concerned, for all souls, was and still is real freedom here and now, rather than for them to stay on the wheel of reincarnation. And Rebisar added that this goal is and has been the preoccupation of Duane in his books, as Rebisar told him. And then he also meets Paul Twitchell, who told him that certain Roman emperors or kings reincarnated as popes because church doctrine is a business for them, and that is the reason many take on their ancient names. And then he says Paul added that even certain individuals who have built financial empires return in another incarnation to manage their fortunes. They might come as children, siblings, like that, and they take control later of their financial enterprises that they started on Earth. And Paul added that Harold has decided that a canker will follow this pattern, and the Callum God has agreed to let him pursue the goal of slow education for the souls under the canopy of a canker, their constant reincarnation. And then he says, Paul addressed him as a young man and said that that is the trap of reincarnation. Then he says, he recalls a real sad experience in which he saw two cankers, one headed by a master and the other one with no master at the head. So Duane, over to you to comment on this.
Well, the boys get to say it really nice on the real side, where when I present this to the world, it's rather abrasive because of what's going on. And so, yes, it's quite evident what Rebisar and Paul are saying. And that's exactly it. When I say it's a trap here, all of a sudden, I'm criticized for criticizing, but realistically, it's a choice. Harold made the choice, what he wanted to do, and really it's all about control, and they were being very nice, how they said it, using Harold as the example, but it's really Joni, and Harold had given in to Joan. So I would say that they were doing a just very simple explanation, kind and simple explanation to this individual about what's going on. And hey, you make the choice. You want to stay with the paths or the ideas or the religions or the worlds. This is what they lead to, more reincarnation and a lot of nonsense. Or just get up, take the risk, and get out this lifetime. So yes, I would say they're very kind as to how they explain this. Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, Duane, and I think today is a Harold festival on the negative side, because we are going to feast on his disappointments.
Will there be potato salad with this? Is this a luncheon picnic, or what is this?
It will be everything combined.